Welcome to Clown Alley. This is where I get ready for the big show. It's circus day in a big city. Out front, the people are gathering here at the sports arena for the afternoon show. Today's big circus plays in a building of concrete and steel. But when I joined the circus, we played under a huge canvas tent. Those were exciting times. The circus day began early in the morning when the circus train pulled into town. Back then, I was traveling with the Cole Brothers show. A large crew of workers traveled with the show. They worked together as a team to unload the train and set up the circus lot. The workhorses were unloaded first. Old Tony was a real ham and always greeted the circus fans with a fine bow. They used the horses to unload the heavy wagons.
Come here. Come here. Right hand close the wall.
A rope wrapped around a snubbing post kept the wagons from rolling too fast.
Overballing. Straighten it up. Come here.
As soon as the wagons had been rolled from the flat cars, they were hustled away to the circus lot. There were many animals to be unloaded. The elephants were carried in cars that were higher and stronger than the other stock cars. I guess elephants and the circus have always gone together. Circus people prefer to use Indian elephants because they are easy to train. The elephants are called bulls, and the trainers control them with a pointed stick called a hook. We carried animals from all over the world. There was a sacred bull from India, and llamas from the high Andes Mountains of South America. There were zebras from the wide grassy plains of Africa, and camels from the plateaus of Central Asia.
Oh, we're going to get
Signs had been drawn with chalk to direct us to the circus lot. As the animals arrived on the lot, they were tied to wagons until the menagerie tent was ready. Wagon after wagon was pulled into place. Lots of work had to be done to get ready for the afternoon show. The biggest job was getting the canvas into the air. Hundreds of stakes had to be driven into the ground to tie down the tents. Some of the stakes were driven by hand, but most were driven by machine. The center poles had to be threaded with pulleys and ropes and large iron rings to hold the canvas top. The first center pole to go up was called the king pole. The king pole was held in place by long guy ropes and was used to help raise the other center poles. One by one, the elephants pulled the heavy poles into the air. The men had been working since early morning and were sure happy when the blue flag went up on the cook tent to signal that breakfast was ready. We were one big circus family in those days. Our cooks prepared only 2 meals a day, but there was plenty of good food, and you could have all you wanted to eat.
Hey, boy, you Hey, brother. You just go here, man. Get the food died. You have to shoot the dog. I'm going ain't going to get the food. You stand here and you get it. Never get it. That's the rest of the week, man.
After breakfast, there was still a lot of work to be done. Roll after roll of tent canvas was pulled from the wagons. The elephants were trained to do many jobs and were a big help in putting up the tents. After the canvas was spread, some of the workmen tied it to the iron rings, while others laced the sections together. When the canvas was ready, the men set the side poles.
Come ahead with the bow. Up high. To the hole. Shoot it. Move along.
As pole after pole was raised into place, the big top was slowly lifted into the air.
Stand by. 1, 2.
Gordon.
Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hold it. Now downstage. Hit it. Next.
Finally, the seats were set up and the side walls were hung in place. When the tent was in the air, it was easy for anyone to see why we called it the Big Top. By noon, all the tents were ready and the animals were under cover. The heavy work of the elephants was done, and they had time for a well-earned rest before the big show. The Midway was the front door to the big show. The color and sounds of the Midway were an exciting part of the old circus.
Yes, they're all lining up. They're all buying tickets. One ticket pays the way to see it all. Hurry, and you gotta go. It's a show for the ladies, the gentlemen, and the children. If you gotta see the big sideshow, you're just in time, and this is the place. Hurry a little loud, you're going. One ticket pays the way to see it all. No waiting in here. Boys, go in and start the show right now. Go right in there and start the show. There it goes right now. If you care to go, this is the first big show in your city today. Everything you see pictured and painted out.
After buying your ticket, you passed through the menagerie tent on your way to the Big Top. There were all kinds of sights and sounds here to thrill the circus fans. While the crowd was gathering, our circus trumpeter called us to get ready for the show. The backyard was a busy place as the performers hurried to get into costume. By circus tradition, each clown has his own special makeup, and no one else copies it. Circus animals were dressed with beautiful robes, feather plumes, and special harness. By showtime, all the performers were ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, the circus on parade.
golden light under the canvas, and the dust and smells of the old circus are gone. But the acts are still pretty much the same. Oh, sure, there have been some changes, but the circus is still the greatest show on earth. And to have a circus, you have to have clowns.
Show going on in the main tent. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys of all ages, your attention please on the center ring. A spectacular act featuring Dorothy and her birds from far corners of the world. Introducing the yellow-headed parrot from the tropical jungles of Yucatan. Wave to the folks, Polly. Romeo, the rose-breasted cockatoo from the interior of Australia. Hello, Romeo.
Hello. How are you? How are you?
The clown of the parrot family, the scarlet macaw from the jungles of Central America. Let's not be bashful, Red. Billy, the amazing magpie from the plains of North America. He's a daring acrobat, a mathematical and musical genius. Bongo and Susie, a talented pair of peach-faced lovebirds from the fabulous continent of Darkest Africa. With an assisting cast of pygmy parrots, including Napoleon and Josephine, masked lovebirds from Tanganyika territory in Africa. Temperamental Tippy, a glamorous cockatiel from Australia. The fearless lineolated parakeet, Pancho and Chiquita from southern Mexico. And a colorful chorus of parakeets from Australia. They're just one big, lovable family. And so, on with the show. most extraordinary demonstration by the mathematical magpie. Billy, what's 1 and 1? 1 plus 1. Right. You see, folks, you can't fool him. Once more now, 1 and 1. Come on, Billy. Now, careful, Billy. 1 times 1. Right again. A feathered fantasy featuring the entire cast. Dorothy and her fabulous birds of the world.
may be a tummy ache tomorrow. Soda pop and pink lemonade are as important as peanuts for the elephant. Now, folks, step right this way to the bigger, better, more exciting sideshow.
Exciting show you've ever seen, and plenty of time to see it all. Your attention, please, to the lovely little lady on my right. In the great sideshow inside, she swallows a lighted neon tube. Mademoiselle Annette, the snake charmer extraordinary. On the inside, she performs...
Now, Big Joe, the event that the kids and the grown-ups have been waiting for months.
Captured alive in
Gold Brothers Circus proudly presents the magnificent and gorgeous inaugural pageant in kaleidoscopic splendor, Americana. A Congress of clowns, champion fun makers, masters of mirth and merriment, inside-splitting didos, laugh makers all, headed by the world-famous gloomy Emmett Kelly. Introducing Miss Betty Rich, Queen of the Air, in a sensational display of breathtaking aerial feats without the net below, the first Tyrica. The famous Nelson Group, sensational Risley acrobatic star. And now the only girl to do a complete somersault too high to the feet of the balancer. The celebrated Reifenaut troupe, bareback riding marvels whose equals do not exist. Grace and beauty of equestrianism. The beautiful bareback riding ballerina, Miss Lucy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we present the Boise troupe in amazing gymnastic feats aloft, agile performers on the aerial bars. Here come the comics of the air in dexterous and hilarious feats high above the sandbar. In the center ring, the only group of Pamelino Liberty horses in the world, trained and presented by Adolphe Del Bosque. On the hippodrome track, high-jumping horses. And now the most daring rider in all the world, Miss Dorothy Herbert, blindfolded over a barrier of fire. Presenting Otto and Freddie for the funniest prize fight in circus history. And now, Clyde Beatty, the most fearless man in all the world, alone in a cage with a herd of man-eating African lions, the greatest wild animal trainer of all time, face to face with the most ferocious of all jungle-bred animals. The 6 flying thrillers daring mid-air marvels high over the center ring. A troop of absolutely fearless and unrivaled young men and his who fly through the air performing spectacular and hazardous feats. Miss Jean Allen with a herd of ponderous pachyderms, their trunks full of new tricks. Christmas fun, sawdust, and spangles brings joy and merriment to everyone. Here Comes the Circus is always a memorable event. A truly great and carefree day for all from 6 to 60.
The magic world of sawdust and spangles.
Come over closer, folks. Right up here. For here's where the freaks and wonders are. Like Peter May's Snake Charmer Extraordinary. And the Hula Hula Dancers. Plenty of time to see the sideshows before the matinee goes on.
Let's leave them to buy tickets and let them go into the big top the ordinary way. I'm going to take you backstage where show folk perform. Here's where magic is made, where clowns create their official funny faces for your enjoyment, where they work hard twice a day before each show. Every clown an artist in his own right, rushing to be ready as soon as the whistle blows. The circus backyard, peopled by a big international family. An open-air backstage where every artist waits tensely for his cue or limbers up for his act like this one.
Children of all ages, we proudly present a new edition of your favorite show. Introducing first, the Oriental Pageant.
Wish we'd had more time outside to see these people polish and repolish their act. Precision, timing, and grace. Watch her balance that glass of water on her forehead. You know, I've seen her miss this, but today she's fine. Control, perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Presenting the three-ring ballet of the elephant, 184,000 pounds of pachydermic pulchritude.
Pachydermic pulchritude. No words are long enough or big enough to describe the way circus folks feel in their hearts about their elephants, the backbone and mainstay of every circus. And while the show goes on under the big top, the waiting goes on in the backyard.
Presenting Margot and her spirited team of the world's finest Liberty horses.
You never guess that Margot's nervous, but she is. This is her first year with the show. She knows that the horses respond only to the crack of her whip. If she misses a single cue, the act will be ruined. You can be sure she appreciates your applause. While every kid in the audience wishes he could roller skate like this, the next act is waiting backstage.
Human butterflies, stand by.
Human butterflies. That's what they are, all right. These granddaughters of the spangled queens of yesteryear, whose act they're here reviving, in spite of its great danger. This is the traditional and beautiful Iron Jaw act.
Your kind attention, please. Presenting a kaleidoscopic whirlwind of cycling and acrobatic sensation.
Backstage, the ballet has made one more quick costume change. Now they're standing by for yet another dangerously high aerial spectacle which follows the clown parade. And here it is, the high perch act, billed as the epitome of poetry in the upper reaches of the canvas dome. Goes on. Parallel bars, acrobats, and clowns. Good circus shows seem simple and spontaneous, but there's a lot of rehearsing and timing behind them.
Ladies
the funny men running around, you know that the ring is being made ready for some special event.
Presenting the coupling, dancing, somersaulting artist on the silver strand, Camino, originator of the famous forward somersault on the tight wire.
Watch for it. The forward somersault, always unpredictable.
Proudly introducing the final presentation of the day, the outstanding circus thrill of all time, the human projectiles, Donaldo and Silvana Zappini, shot from the mouth of this monster cannon.
Circus Day. For circus people, just another day. But it's different for all of you. You just had to be at the station before sunup to see us bring your favorite show back to town. Hi, everybody. Well, here's where circus folks get to work. Horses out of their cars, wagons to unload and get out to the circus grounds. We're used to this. Do it every day in a different town. Here goes a load of tent poles. Got to be careful getting them down. We can always use more help, and here's Big Blanche, our largest elephant and leader of our herd. Do tricks later on, but right now, they are off for the showgrounds a mile or so away to help put up the big tent. The biggest pole wagon is just coming onto the circus ground. The elephants are right in time to be put to work. Our circus men are on the job too, along with a lot of folks from your hometown. Here's Big Blanche raising the center poles for the biggest tent of all, the Big Top. It will tower 55 feet in the air. Here's one way we drive stakes for tent ropes. And this machine's another way. We need hundreds of stakes to help hold the tents in place and keep them steady when the wind blows. Now, canvas for the big tent. And watch this. Blanche is the smartest elephant in the herd. She's the hardest worker in the whole show, too. Can't say that for this fellow. These big pieces of canvas will be laced together to make one big tent, almost as long as a city block. Piece by piece, the big tent is put together. Meanwhile, our strong elephants are waiting to be called to their next job. Up go side poles around the edges. And here's where the town boys can really help. Up goes the tent roof to the top. And here's where Blanche can really help. She saves us a lot of time each morning.
of the elephant herd is working too. And now the big top is up. Canvas tightly stretched, flags waving. Up goes the main entrance. We'll soon be going through it to the big show. Matinee time. Hear the steam calliope playing? Here is where the midway begins. The street of little tents with candy stands and sideshows, each with its own barker.
Step up, folks. Buy your tickets. There's plenty of time to see the sideshow before the matinee goes on. All the sideshows on just one ticket. Yes, folks, it's Professor Brown and his Dixie Jubilee Show. And here's the man who likes swords for breakfast, without an ounce of cream or sugar.
While you are seeing the sideshows and buying your tickets for the matinee, we are very busy backstage. Take our head clown, for instance. His face won't look that way after he's put on his clown paint. Now, a circus clown likes to have a full half hour for putting on his face. It may include a big rubber nose, but he can do it all in 10 minutes if he's in a big hurry. And we are in a hurry, fellas, because the big top is filling up with people. So in they go, big clowns and little clowns. They're all different and they're all funny. And they're happiest when they hear you laugh. The show is on. These are the only basketball-playing dogs in the world. Their trainer is their referee. Here are the Iron Jaw roller skaters. He holds her with his teeth alone. And here's another kind of iron jaw stunt that takes place in the big top high over our heads. We're proud to have acrobats like these in our circus. And now watch him do a double somersault into that chair. Here come the clowns again. Say, they've changed their costumes. Lots of clowns to keep us laughing, while the 3 rings are being filled with beautiful, prancing horses. They march and drill in 2s and 3s, just like soldiers for their training. In the circus, we call horses like these liberty horses because they run free and perform without a rider. Here is what we call an aerial ballet. We make these girls practice a lot before we let them go up so high. Down below, our trained ponies are having a race around the hippodrome track. And here comes a daring rider driving 16 horses while she stands on the last two. Lots of action here, for this is one of the world's most famous bareback acts. Yes, this is a clown, all right, but he knows his way around horses. Just you wait and see. The clown in a bareback act must first learn to be an extra good rider and acrobat. After that, he can start clowning around like this. Here's a complete somersault. And here's a human pyramid on horseback. You can't do this with just any horse. These horses are very carefully trained to canter around the ring at just the right speed. That's important if you're turning a somersault or running to jump up on the horse. The tight wire act. He's doing a Spanish dance right on the wire. A difficult forward somersault. Well, here they are again. The same elephants you saw helping us put up the tents this morning. But now, they're all slicked up to do their tricks. Watch them keeping time to the music. Now look at this. These elephants are playing London Bridge. It's a tight squeeze, but she can make it. Elephant weighs almost as much as a fire engine. Here come the clowns around once more, while our men put up a big net. We're coming to the most thrilling of the circus acts, and it's dangerous too. girl and her brother are loaded just like human bullets into the barrel of the cannon. Watch for them. Look out! Here they come! Now our big show is over. And late tonight, we will load up, hurry away, keep a date in another town tomorrow morning.
Howdy, folks. Well, sir, us chimpanzees, we don't like to appear in movies. Interferes with our everyday living. But when we was asked to put on a little show to help you human beings learn something about us, why, we just had to do it. No, sir, we couldn't say no. Now, them four-footed animals, they're called ponies. They ain't so bright. Otherwise, they wouldn't be letting them chimps ride 'em. As for my fellow chimps, well, I can't help but feel a little bit ashamed of them. They're just plain beasts, they are. Of course, it takes a certain animal-like intelligence to be able to do this. More brawn than brain, so to speak. And it does amuse the kiddies, which is all modern education seems to consist of anyway. Of course, in my time, things was different. You see, the cowboy influence, inspired by them Western movies, is quite the rage today. I can assure you that the chimp in his native habitat is a much more civilized critter. It's a good thing that chimp can eat standing up. You know, at times, performing here at the zoo circus, it can be a dangerous profession. As we chimps say, it's a heck of a way to make a living. Now me, I prefer the peace and quiet of the jungle. That young chimp can't seem to make up his mind. He don't know whether he wants to be a cowboy or a fireman. Well, give him time. He's just a babe in arms. You know, I'm beginning to enjoy this in spite of myself. Now, this chimp does a better job. Notice the bow? I guess there's a little ham in all of us, except in me, that is. Now here, they're rehearsing a scene for a new play, 3 Chimps on a Horse. Oh, they've just changed the title. It's now 5 Chimps on a Horse. Or The Tale of a Horse's Tale. Hope you folks don't mind if I smoke. Persistent little varmint, ain't he? Well, reminds me a bit of myself when I was younger. Full of vim and vitality I was. Now, who said the cavalry was dead? The chimps still keep the tradition alive, you see, even if there ain't enough ponies to go around. In a way, of course, this is an intelligence test for them, because they figured out how 11 chimps can ride on 10 ponies and still come out even. I could have solved it by arithmetic, but nobody asked me. Well, horses being old-fashioned, the chimps take to wheels. Hot rod hobbyists, I call them. chimp is going to come to a bad end. Well, bust my britches. Maybe that was designed for people that are too tired to walk in their sleep. And here is how to ride a bicycle when you have one wheel and no bicycle. A human wheelbarrow. Excuse me, I mean a chimpanzee wheelbarrow. Now, you men can be 8 feet taller than she. You almost made it, too. Well, you might call this the height of a chimp's existence. Of course, it makes for kind of a stilted life. I ain't so sure I approve. Nothing like keeping your feet on the ground, as my friend Charlie the Centipede always says. Yeah, some chimps like to live dangerous, if not very long. But don't you folks worry none. He's just as safe as he'd be back home, on the top branch of a tree. I sure hope there's nothing strong in that bottle. He might get eaten higher than he is. Well, he's still there. Guess he was afraid he might break the bottle. Now, this little demonstration might prove that subway strap hangers are a throwback to chimps. Only they wasn't throwed far enough. Give a chimp enough rope and he'll smoke it. Vanity, vanity, thy name is chimp. As my old friend Aesop once said, music has charms to soothe the savage beasts. It'll be interesting to see if it works on humans.
Them on down the old fairway, singing his cow-cow boogie in the strangest way. Come-a-day-ay-ay-ay-ay, come-a-day-yippity-ay-ay, singing his cowboy songs. He's just too much.
This is the monkey version of the Donkey Serenade.
He was raised on no-go weed. He's what you call a swing half-breed, singing his cow-cow boogie.
Swing on a tree or swing to music, us chimps are right at home. Sure brings back memories. I used to cut quite a figure on the dance floor myself. Regular gay blade I was. Well, reckon this kind of brings to a close our little show in chimpanology. Oh, such bad manners. Well, now let's put an end to this monkey business. Goodbye, folks. See you at the zoo.